What's up, guys? Meatball Saucy here. Today we're going to be taking a look at virtual reality and virtual pinball. Last week I received the Arcade Tank Stick VR, so we're going to be taking a look at that. I'm going to share my thoughts on how that works. As well as yesterday, the Zen Pinball released the newest set of FX VR tables in a bundle. So I picked that up yesterday, and I'm going to be trying that today for the first time and give you my honest reaction. I'm going to try to keep this video as live of a stream-ish type video as I can. So we're going to be bouncing around. Then after we've taken a look at the tank stick and talk about that, I'm going to fire up the virtual pinball machine, and we will take a look at some other virtual reality, virtual pinball options that are available out there, and then talk about which one I think is best. Again, these are all going to be my opinions, so take it with a grain of salt and just kind of go with it as that. So we're going to go ahead and start off. We'll grab the Quest, and we'll get this thing fired up. There we go. As that's booting up, we will grab our little dongle here that we're going to need for the Arcade tank stick. Get that plugged into the headset. Make sure that is communicating well, and it looks like it's green lighting, so we're good. We'll go ahead and start up the stream so you guys can see what is going on here. And we'll see if that connects properly. It looks like it did. Okay. There we go. And we'll go ahead and head over to the tank stick here momentarily. Get the camera fired up there. Make sure we've got that rolling. All right, there we go. Let's head over to the tank stick. Check that out. All right, so here we are. I'm going to go ahead and take off the silicone covers on my control sticks here. And we'll open up FX VR. Pinball. Go to apps only, much better view. Get rid of all that crazy Oculus stuff, and we'll fire up FX VR. Give this tank stick a whirl and try out these new tables. All right. Give ourselves a recenter here. Pinball FX VR. Get through the loading. Yes, now it's telling me, okay, hey, you can walk up and play with your tank stick VR. And so the first table I've got to try out, guys, is going to be Attack from Mars. All of these tables are great, but I'm going to want to play Attack from Mars, and there it is. So we'll walk up to the machine, hit our trigger, say play. Oh, and it's downloading. Okay. That's different. Download complete. There we go. All right, so now we're going to select X Arcade mode. And all we got to do is then drop the controllers into the control stick and hit the 2 flipper buttons. There we go. And this should put us in arcade mode. And we're going to give this a shot. Let's see how we do. All right. So the look is good. Like the model here.
Nothing can defeat us.
Hey, that's my car!
Responsiveness is fantastic. This is quite good for a wireless dongle being communicated. Ooh, there's a little bit of a graphical glitch. That wasn't great.
Sacred view! The Martians are destroying the Apple Tower!
Get every available man.
Go away from France, you
Ah.
from another planet!
Not having the nudge, guys. I mean, I felt my fingers literally. That's cute. I felt my fingers reaching for the nudge buttons that I've got on my V-pin cab, and just not natural with this stick. That is one of my biggest concerns. It'd be nice if I could just shake this thing and give it some actual nudge that they could respond with, but.
We must destroy that stinking Martian!
Audio is good. Yeah, I'm really liking this responsiveness. This is good. Oh. The environment is cool. I do like this environment. Don't point that at me.
Cities will be destroyed.
I don't know what that was all about. Why he's swiping his hand at me.
Missiles on standby.
The models are cool. The depth is nice.
It's hideous!
Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah, this, the environment, I do like this X Arcade, or sorry, the FX VR environment. This is pretty cool. Okay, so we want to get our controller out, and let's try again. Put the controller back in. Launch button.
This is an emergency broadcast. The Earth is being invaded by flying saucers.
Ah, this is the bug that I don't like. Please take your touch controller back from the slot to where all I did was continue and play, and now I'm stuck in this. It popped up right in the middle of my game, and now is asking me to go back into X Arcade mode. This sucks. This is one thing I noticed before. I don't like this at all. It really breaks the immersion. I mean, and now my game is restarting or continuing. Yeah. That needs to be fixed, guys. I think this is something we need to reach out to X Arcade about. I don't know if other people experience it that way, but I should be able just to pick it up and play again and have it be in X Arcade mode. That was not good. I was hoping it was just because I had my silicone. God, yeah, nudge, not being there. And it's funny because I haven't seen anybody talk about that playing a second game requires you to go through that issue, or maybe I'm just doing it wrong and it's an order of operations thing. I don't know. I would definitely like to get some feedback on that from other players. If you guys have not experienced that, please leave a comment below if you have experienced it. Also leave a comment. I mean, like I said, it feels to me like it should be, it should just be kind of seamless to where I can, if I set it once when I log in or start the table, put it down, I realize I got to get my controller out to restart the game or play again. But it's a little bit of a bummer. Locked on target. Okay. Alright, well, like I said, the X-Arcade tank stick is performing fairly well. That was definitely a little bit of a bummer with regards to that, so we'll pull those out. Let's exit the table. And there was one other one I wanted to try, and that is Medieval Madness. Just to give that a flip here real quick. And again, we'll kind of get that all set up. Again, first time playing this pack, guys, so it's going to take a second here to download, and obviously it's pretty quick. Go to X-Arcade mode. Put those down. Hit the buttons. And there we go. See, that is a good experience. I like that.
I am the King of Pain. Welcome to my kingdom.
Again, flipper response. Table itself looks really good. Like I said, nudge with the control stick is just not ideal. Having some haptics here would also be a lot better. Having played this on my V-Pin in FX, it's a much nicer experience, but all right. Animations are cool. Love the dragon. Love the little castle. They took our marshmallows. Who the are you?
Out, dragon dude.
Ah. All right, extra ball. Multi-ball madness. All right. Flying dragon is very cool. The fire effects in VR are really nice. Yeah, like I said, the control scheme and everything about the depth is really good. They did a good job with this.
Think this is funny? I think we got a tough guy here.
Yeah. Yeah, need to have some physical nudge or something else, guys. I'm just not a huge fan of this stick nudge. This kind of sucks. Not ideal for sure. But overall, man, I mean, they did a really good job with the modeling here. Everything on the table looks good. Nice and clear. Yeah. This is a good experience. I'm liking it. Like I said, a little bit better with the haptics, and I think we could have a real winner here. And I know that X-Arcade is working on a haptic kit to upgrade this stick that it will be released, I think, in the second half of this year or the fourth quarter or whatever. So that's exciting. I think it'll definitely add a level of immersion to this that it is missing. And, you know, if they can get Zen to patch in some type of, you know, haptic nudge to where the controllers that are locked into the panel here react to shakes on the control stick, I don't know, you could have a really, really solid experience here. But all right, well, there we go. A couple of the new games. Let's go talk about my thoughts. All right. All right, guys. Well, that was a little bit of FX VR with the X-Arcade VR tank stick. You know, it is a really solid experience, and I want to talk a little bit about the arcade action with it. I will say that it comes with this FX VR game, as well as Arcade Ranger. I tried out the Arcade Ranger. I'm not impressed. The fact that you can't have network attached storage, and you have to actually transfer all the ROMs onto your headset, which, you know, depending on if you're like me and you picked up the 128 gig, it could be a little bit limiting from an overall standpoint. But, you know, again, it was just not something I was into. That being said, I was able to plug it into USB and was able to stream Arcade Time Capsule, which performed excellent, as well for arcade games, as well as MUVR, which also performed excellent. The one little caveat was on the trackball games, the sensitivity was so low, something that I could have corrected. I didn't yet, but I will, and so that I can make sure that I've got a little bit more responsiveness for the trackball. But in general, the X-Arcade tank stick is a good device, and I think once we get some haptic feedback kit for pinball, it is going to be elevated a lot more. That's kind of my thoughts on the X-Arcade tank stick VR. Again, I wanted to talk to you guys today about some other options when it comes to virtual reality pinball. We have got a ton of other options, and so while this was a really good experience. I think there are other experiences that other people should be aware of and would be interested in knowing about. So today we're going to go ahead and fire up the pinball machine and take a look at Future Pinball, VPX, and Zakaria, all in VR. So let's go ahead and head over there, and we're going to fire it up. So we'll pull this up, and we'll go fire up the pinball machine. Give that a power on while that's booting. Come back. I haven't really ever showed what it takes to run my virtual pinball machine, but basically it's a single button, powers on the machine. It powers up into Pinup Popper, and once that's active, then you can play any of the virtual tables or anything else directly. As well as VR, and we're going to see that here in just a moment. All right, so pinball machine is running and active, so we'll go ahead and attach to virtual desktop, and you'll see what that kind of looks like here. All right, so we got the screen here for this, and we'll play around with that a little bit. All right, so I'll put my controllers down. I'm going to move over to the VR playlist and open this up, and I think appropriately we should start off with VPX and Attack from Mars. So let's take a look at what we were just playing on Pinball FX VR in the VPX version. And you'll see it'll transition here to Steam VR. Steam VR opens, loads up the table. Here we go. All right, so now we've got a virtual reality environment for Attack from Mars. And we'll use the control panel here to reset the view, but we've got an alien spaceship landing over us. We've got all kinds of cool stuff. We got the color DMD. We've got again, great graphics and models. So yeah, I mean this VR environment does a really good job. I'm going to start in a little bit closer and reset closer so that I'm back so that you can actually see the flippers here. Which is sometimes really difficult to do in VR when you're recording. So we'll go ahead and give this a flip. And you'll notice right away that we've got a lot of haptics. Notice the under the cab lighting that's going on here. Having the SSF makes a huge difference. Got active backglasses going on for us too. Ball shadows. Here we go, Mars attacks or Martian attack. Got the rumbling of the table. And you'll notice that I did hit a nudge there, even though it was unsuccessful. Having that button nudge makes a huge difference. Now, it may not save you, depending on how well you are able to execute and use it, but it certainly makes a difference in gameplay if you can. Oh, geez Louise. All right. Buildings on fire. Spaceship lighting everything up. What are you doing over there, buddy? Oh, he's shooting stuff. All right. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Again, cabinet model looks pretty darn good. We've got pretty decent looking graphics all around. So there's Attack from Mars in VPX. And again, we just exit out of the table. Wait for Steam VR to close here. And once it's closed, we just pick right back up. So I'm going to run over and let's take a look at Medieval Madness since we're doing it. Since we looked at that on the other one too. There we go. All right, let's fire up Medieval Madness. We'll do a subtle comparison between FXVR and VPX. Again, same general load scenario. All right, so we are in an environment not as cool, a little more minimalistic. Got a couple of machines going on in here, but not terribly bad. Again, with the active backglass, color DMD. And I am going to again reset that so that it's a little bit closer so that hopefully everybody it's showing through all right. And let's go ahead and fire this up.
I am the king of pain. Defend yourself.
Oh, look at that SSF, baby. Yeah. Ah. Well, nobody said I was going to play good. This is not my best table whatsoever, but I generally do okay. Right on cue, right? Just cue up that drain by saying, yeah, I can do okay. And then just complete the epic fail. Again, that SSF just hits so well and makes it such a huge difference. Hey, at least I got the castle. Castle! And these physics are a little less arcadey, but still. Either way, again, just taking a look to see what this option looks like. The model on it is, again, very, very good. Having the color DMD on the back is really nice option, but again, just feels really, really good. All right, so let's go ahead and bounce out of here. Okay, the other option I really wanted to take a look at was Zakaria, and taking a look at some of the Zakaria pinball from Magic Pixel. And since Space Shuttle has been a hot topic, the Space Shuttle Deluxe, we'll go ahead and do some Space Shuttle Deluxe. Where are you at, Space Shuttle? There you are. Space Shuttle Retro, Space Shuttle Deluxe. There we go. Let's fire that up. And the best part about this is that the virtual reality, you don't have to pay extra for like you do with Zen. Zakaria, you buy the table and you get all of the different modes and game settings that are all set up for this. It is fairly plug and play. The one thing that you do have to do with these is that these do require you to use your headset to set the distance. So we'll go ahead and grab my controller here and look forward, reset the distance. There we go. And we'll go ahead and fire this up. So we've got Space Shuttle. You can see the levels and layers that you really can't see on the 2D, and it's actually much nicer looking from this scenario. Oh, I've got my... That's the one thing. So they do have support for your controls. And when I put them in my cup holder here, sometimes it hits the it hits the trigger on the cup holder and holds my plungers or my flippers up, and it gets in the way. So you also note that I have modded this to have Pup Pack SSF. So it's not true SSF, and it's not as great as you would want, but at least you've got some haptics here on the flippers to help come on. There we go.
Tank fuel, 25% tank fuel, 50%.
Come on, let's get the external tank.
Tank fuel, 75%.
Come on, one more. No! Ooh, almost lost it. There we go. Getting that 1,000,000 points. Come on, get all the rest of them. Darn it. Getting to that upper play field can be challenging. Oh, come on. There's the digital nudge. It's not working out for me, but I tried. And again, no real environment here. A little bit of, small highlight things going on around this dark room. You can see your score progression here on the left, and it's very basic from an environment standpoint, but they did a great job of putting these models together and giving you the full depth. Wow. Okay. I just crashed Zakaria. Magic Pixel. Well, there you go. All right, guys. So the last one I want to take a look at is Future Pinball. And I want to do that with Masters of the Universe. So we'll go ahead and navigate over to that. B, C, D, E, F. And fire up Masters of the Universe. Now this takes a minute to load. These do take a little bit, but you will see the impressive work that Terry Red did on this table with the real-time lighting, and it's amazing, guys. I mean, it really is. This is an experience that if you have not tried this, you must try Masters of the Universe in VR, and you will be blown away. It is a top tier experience that I highly recommend. And again, it does take a little bit longer to load. And even when it's done loading, it takes longer to load. And even longer to load. But once it is loaded, oh my gosh, we have got Snake Mountain and Battle Cat and all of the movie posters, and oh man, this thing is beautiful. We've got Orko floating over here and Man-at-Arms, and just everything on this table is so good. This is just a beautiful machine. And again, this is a game. The idea behind this is to, what I'm doing here is I'm actually doing center, which also switches this. So you can do mixed reality, very similar to what you can do in FX. You just have to swap out and change the background. But I am actually just now trying to get this setup, and again, these are all the different environments you can do, but this is the main one, and here we go. So I'm going to give this a shot.
Choose your players. One player, choose your faction.
And you are going after, the game here is to try to collect as many He-Man action figures or Masters of the Universe action figures, vehicles, and playsets as you possibly can. There's all kinds of cool little gameplay mechanics. Orko being your magic ball save. And again, playing with a slightly elevated, I usually play this much closer, but again, I'm doing this so that from a camera standpoint, you guys can see the full play field. There's a nudge right there. Nudge is a little more significant in future pinball. And actually, that's not necessarily true. It is very reliant on table author and what they put into the nudge.
Let's get back to work.
Got Sorceress floating around over here. All right, one more. I'm going to try to go after the He-Man multi-ball, which you can see I was setting up the color changes, and it actually closed down. You saw Castle Grayskull, and so now I can note right here in front of He-Man, it's got red dots, and so I can press the start button, and you'll notice that Castle Grayskull popped up because it's now in the green mode. But as I switch it back to purple and red mode, each one is a different table game mode configuration and setup. But what I'm going to try to do here real quick is go for He-Man multi-ball.
New from the Masters of the Universe collection. New from the Masters of the Universe
Or
collection.
just, try to get a collection. There we go. All right, now He-Man multi-ball is ready. You notice that? Get out of there. Because it's now flashing. So if I hit that again, there we go. And there we go. He-Man multi-ball. this is so awesome. There we go. And there's my action figure that I just collected. All right. So now as I get the battle ready, I can reset Castle Grayskull back to where it was. Ram Man popping up there to do my ball save. See if I can get this tap pass over to my right flipper. There we go. Ah. All right. Get up there. Damn it. Oh. And so there is the Orko ball save. So I just immediately hit my special button to try and pull Orko out, and it moves it, saves my ball, and gives me one of the potential shots that I need. And that happens in modes and anywhere where Orko is available. Get up there, yes. All right, Castle Multi-Ball, here we go. Yeah, get in there. No! Alright, well, completely choked that one out. Alright, so now we're in She-Ra mode. And there are four shots we gotta hit. Already hit that one. Got about 45 seconds to do this. And so you got to hit that little pop bumper over here several times to get that. And now we've got the second one down. Now we need the castle ramp. And the vehicle ramp. And I've got 10 seconds left, so I'm going to use my Orko shot to get one of those out of the way.
Show your true form to our eyes.
There's one of them. Oh no! All right, well, there is Masters of the Universe Future Pinball in VR.
You'll see who the loser is.
All right. Okay, so there we go. We've got Future Pinball, VPX, FX VR, and Zakaria. All three of them are solid experiences in their own right. I definitely recommend, if you have not tried them all, to give them all a shot. But let's talk about which ones I think are the best. I certainly think that Future Pinball, as long as you have got the talents of people like Terry Red working through the machines, Future Pinball can be the best experience in VR. I think that VPX is a very, very, very distant second. It is not on the same level because of the dynamic lighting. All of the lighting effects that you see in Pinball VPX are set up as static pre-baked lighting effects, and it's just a little bit different technology. Very closely behind that is the FX VR, and I think that it is very close to being able to take over that second spot, in my opinion. It just needs to get the nudge squared away. It needs to get the haptic kit installed. And obviously it needs to fix that weird bug where you got to pick up the controller and break the immersion. That's got to go well ahead of anything else. But assuming those three things happen, I think that FX VR could be the number two, in my opinion, platform. Zakaria, while it is, like I said, it's free. It comes along with all of the versions of tables when you buy them. Check out the Platinum Pack on Steam, because you just get everything for one price. And as new tables release, you get a heavily discounted price on any new tables. So that is kind of how that works. But again, this is my opinion. That's kind of in the order that I rank them in. Why I rank them in that order, I've kind of talked about. But again, it's really just to show you that, hey, yes, FX VR is very good, but it is certainly not the best platform for VR. It is very close to becoming the second best platform for VR, and I think it will get there. But right now, it is still number 3 out of 4 when it comes to the overall virtual reality, virtual pinball experience, in my opinion. That being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Consider leaving, I don't care, leave a like, share with your friends, whatever. I'm not a YouTuber. I just do this because I like to share my opinions, and I like sharing what options are out there, and things that people might enjoy playing and having fun with. As you can see, my virtual pinball table is set up so that I can just turn it on and play VR or play virtual pinball on the machine without really any difficulty or going through any struggle. It's fairly plug and play. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching the video. We'll catch you on the next one. Have a great day. Cheers.